In this video, I will be building a wine cellar for my Japanese restaurant. So I will be building the wine cellar on the 3rd floor. Now the struggle with building a wine cellar is that there's not many wine building blocks in this game. So I will need to get creative a bit. So yeah, let's maybe build it here, and I will start by building the walls. So of course we will want a plank wall, so it gives a more rustic feel. So I will want maybe about 6 blocks. Yep. So let's go 6. Okay, we have our walls up. So now what we want to do is we will want to have a door. So I think we will want a nicer door. Let's choose which door we want to use. Okay, we have a Japanese door over here, so it gives our wine cellar a more Japanese feel. So let's start by building the wine cellar. So the most important block we will need is under art. We will need a few wine barrels. So once I'm done placing down my barrels, you can go ahead and paint them different shades of brown. Yeah, you don't want them all looking the same, you want them a darker shade of brown. So yeah, we've just finished painting our wine barrels. Next we need to build a shelf on top. So yeah, we've successfully built a few shelves. So I think we want to go ahead and put a few wine looking equipment. Now the issue is that there's no wine glass, but we can always do with glass bottles here to make it look like those are filled with wine. And there's the Halloween update, so we can go ahead in the Halloween pack, choose a few candles and maybe light them up. So of course we might want a spider web somewhere over here to give it a more Halloween theme feel. So next we will go back to cookery and we can put our drinking glasses. So of course we will need something to drink with. Okay, great, this side is looking good. The next thing we do is we want to have chairs in a wine cellar. So normally when people drink wine, it's always 2 person. You don't want too big a table, and I think for this we can use a glass table. I want like a more glass table vibe. Nah, this doesn't look like. Maybe the porch table does look nice. So yeah, we are done putting down the tables. I think this looks nice. Next we need to select chair. I think something like an egg chair would do well. No, I don't think we will use an egg chair. Let's choose something else. Yeah, I think a Japanese chair will work. So it sort of gives them more wine vibe. Okay, great. So we have our half of our wine cellar set up. Yeah. Okay, so to continue the next part of our wine cellar, I think we can try the other barrel. So there's also a flat one. If I'm not wrong, and yeah, the horizontal barrels should look nice. Like it's obviously we want them to be different colors, so maybe we will paint this to a darker shade of brown. Yeah, so one thing I did notice that I didn't use was the vase. So you will want some vases here. Maybe we will put 3 and we will paint them a different shade. So to give them like the vibe that maybe they are of different quality of wine. So let's see what there are. I think this looks good. Red doesn't look. Let's go with this looks nice. So yeah, we already have 3 wine glass cups. Next we might want to decorate the table, so we will need to go back to cookery and have a napkin holder here. Yeah, once that's done, I think we will need what do we need? Yeah, I think we want some mugs here, so we know that they are drinking something. Although they are not wine glass, they do look legit. What else? I think next we need to decorate the ceiling, so we might want some light. Yeah, so maybe one of the tables you could put a candle so it looks more like a rustic feel. And for the ceiling we want a Japanese theme vibe, so we will need to decorate the ceiling. I think we can go with this Japanese ceiling pattern. Yep, so the ceiling looks more legit. Yeah, I feel there's a bit empty over here. What are we missing? Yeah, I think one thing that we could use in fact was a shelf. So maybe this tile antique shelf looks really cool. We might want to put it facing out here, and we can put different sort of lines here. So maybe what I want to do with this is I want to use different faces. So we might want Asian face, but we will color them differently. Okay, so I put the face, now we just need to recolor them. Okay, so I've put my vases up, I've put my tables here, and I've got my barrels here. So people are actually coming in to drink some wine over here. I do think this is not enough, maybe we need more. So I will go ahead and build more shelves. So yeah, once we build the shelf, I think we can go ahead and put some glass bottles here. So it looks more legit. And one more thing I've noticed is we might need something as a centerpiece. So I guess we either use a shelf or a table. Let's see what shelf we have not used here. Maybe we could go with a Japanese shelf. On second thoughts, I think a table will look nicer. So we could go with a nice Japanese table in the center over here, so people know you are pouring stuff, and of course one person can pour and the other can of course taste the wine. So in order to make this not look so empty, we will need things on the table. So of course we will want a fruit case. People will want to make like mixers with their drink, and in addition to the fruit bowl, we will actually need some cutlery. So I'm not sure if there's anything. Maybe we could have some measuring jugs here, and we can have a blender here in case you want to make any sort of drink. Yeah, we could also add a spice rack so it gives color, and of course we might need a chopping board, or we could put some plates. So yeah, we do in fact have chopping board over here. So yeah, this is where they can make some juices to go along with their wine, so people can enjoy their drinks here in peace. And I think that this looks really nice. One thing I think we could use was we could perhaps add one more barrel at the side here so it doesn't look too empty. Let's go with this horizontal barrel, and yeah, I think this looks really nice now. One final touch was I might want to recolor this so it doesn't look too similar as the rest. Alright, that recolor looks nice. Let's go ahead and maybe add a clock so people know what they are looking at. Okay, never mind. So since it needs to be cold, I guess we will be putting an air conditioner here. And since a lot of this is very expensive, we will need a surveillance camera here so no one steals our wine collection. And on top of that, we can of course put a clock so people can feel. But yeah, this is a very intimate setting. I think one more thing we could use was because the place, we don't want it to be too humid. If not, there will be a lot of mold growing, so we will want something less humid. So the only thing that will give us the impression of that would be a cactus. No, cactus won't work. What else could we get? Yeah, I think having a fan on top, yeah, does give the place a nicer vibe. And yeah, I think our wine cellar is coming together very impressively. And of course, for the finishing touch, we might want to put a sign outside, which sign we go for. We will want a chalkboard sign, and we will of course have to edit this to say wine cellar. Oh, that's not allowed. So let's just do cellar. Okay, so apparently wine is not allowed in this game, but yeah, I've effectively made a wine cellar that looks really cool. And yeah, people are already sitting here, so So yeah, I guess this is a very cozy dining area with wine cellar. And of course, people can always dine in here, so the vibe is really chilled. It looks like a really good storage of wine, and there's a lot of detail in this room. Maybe I might add more stuff. I don't think we need a light since we have the candles. Maybe we will do add one light just to give it a more finished feel. So we definitely don't want a spotlight. We would want something like this. So it gives a dark feel, but yet it feels intimate enough. Yeah, this is a very cozy place where we can hang out, drink some drinks, and that's how we can make our wine cellar despite wine being banned in this game. So yeah, let me know if you like this build and how I can improve it. Yeah, so once again, thanks for watching, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe as it really helps me out. Goodbye.